Alright, hi everyone, and welcome to our next game here on this channel, as you may have seen, and as you pretty much can tell right here on what kind of game it is. We're playing Pokemon Red and Blue for the Game Boy. Now, this game is a very huge, once upon a time, as like over 20 years ago. This is my favorite franchise, by the way, guys. And, this is all, the game itself is being, obviously, this is post-commentary. I'm not going to be commentating as I'm playing, although I really wanted to commentate while I was recording. But, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and, play along, and we're just going to, do this. So yeah, these worlds inhabited by creatures known as Pokemon. Yes, we know, thanks Professor Oak. Which is, the main Pokemon professor of this game. Now, this is our main character. Now, in the actual game, he's known as Red. Why is he known as Red? I honestly have no idea. But, obviously, we can name him whatever you want. So, I'm just going to give him my name, which is Trevor, by the way, for those that don't know. This is my grandson. He's been your rival since you were a baby. Also, that really doesn't make any sense. What's his name again? Now, a lot of people give him the name of Gary because of the anime, but his actual name is Blue. Why is his actual name Blue? I actually have no idea. But for the sake of consistency, we're gonna name him Gary. And, you can also name him whatever you want to. Your own Pokemon legend is about to unfold. Order Dreams and Adventures with Pokemon awaits. Let's go. And he shrinks us down. Okay, so now this is the starting game, and we were playing the SNES. Now what I recommend you do is to go over your PC and withdraw a potion, because, you can store items in your PC up until Gen 4 in the series. All boys leave home, some say, says on TV. Professor Oak next door is looking for you. Alright then, let's see what the TV says. 4 boys are working on railroad tracks. Everyone always likes to think that it's a reference to The Outsiders, but no, it's based off of the movie Stand By Me. I've never seen Stand By Me, so I don't know what that movie's all about. But this is Pallet Town, the shades of your journey await. Which, it's the start of your town. Because all you really have in this town is my house, Gary's house, and as we will go into in just a little bit, Professor Oak's lab. Yeah, we're just interacting with everything in the environment. The map. This is the Kanto region. This is where this game is taking place, and it's technically based on an actual real-life real area. It's supposed to be based off of the greater metro area of modern-day Tokyo in Japan. What's this guy got to say? Technology is incredible. You can restore and recall items and Pokemon as data via PC. So you're claiming that all Pokemon are data instead of creatures. That's interesting. Alright, so this is Professor Oak's lab. We have some people here. Professor Oak is the high authority on Pokemon, she says. This guy just works as an aide. What does this guy do? Well, he also works as Professor Oak's aide. Alright, well here's Gary. Okay, so Gramps isn't around. Yes, we have to push start to open the menu. The Pokemon section, you can't really get into it. Not yet, at least. Items, just pulls up your bag. Badges! Obviously in this game there are 8 badges, because there are 8 gym leaders. I really hope you get that and understand that part. And the save option is also in the menu screen, as you also saw right there. These are Pokeballs that contain Pokemon. Well, no shit! What do you think they contain? Pumpkins? Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and leave town. Hey, wait, don't go out. So Professor Oak comes out from God knows where, sees you walking out of the town, and is like, hey, it's unsafe, wild Pokemon live in tall grass. And you need your own Pokemon for your own protection. And wants you to follow him to his lab. What is up with people in this world? And Gary is, you know, fed up with waiting. Okay, so he told him to come, but he doesn't remember why. There are 3 Pokemon here. They're inside the Pokeballs. When I was a young, serious Pokemon trainer, in my old age, I only have 3 left, but you can have 1. So we're about to go in here, and we're about to pick our first Pokemon. So we're gonna come right back, and we're gonna go over all of them right now. Our first choice is Bulbasaur. Now, Bulbasaur is a grass and poison type, and is the first Pokemon in the overall national dex, and the first one you can ever pick with 2 types. Now, Bulbasaur is, you know, obviously the smarter choice to start out with, because it can defeat the first 2 gym leaders with ease, and can resist the next 2. But then it starts, you know, becoming horrible towards the mid-late game. But hopefully by then you'll have a good team. But, you know, I like Bulbasaur a lot. Our second choice is Charmander, the Fire-type Pokemon. Now, Charmander is going to be the difficult choice between all of these 3, but even though it might be good, it might be bad for the first 2, it does pretty good with the other 5 gyms. But towards the end, it's not really that good either. It's also the popular choice, but I'm not a fan of Charmander or its evolutions. Our last choice is Squirtle, the Water-type Pokemon. Now, Squirtle is kind of seen as the, kind of the medium easy course, as in it's good with the first gym and the last gym, and then it kind of like tanks through the middle of the game, but has a real disadvantage to the 3rd and 4th gyms. But, you know, it's pretty good. It's one of the other most popular starters, other than Charmander. But I'm not going to go with Squirtle, because I think there's better water types. But there are very few in this generation that are actually good. And we're going to take Bulbasaur as our starter. Yes, we received Bulbasaur. You want to give it a nickname? I really do. Now, I'm going to give this guy a nickname of its evolved form, straight out from the first Pokemon movie. I hope you guys remember it, because some guy had a Venusaur, and I kind of spoiled what this guy fully evolves into. But yeah, a guy named his Venusaur Brute Root. Why, I don't know. And Gary, as the jerk-ass as he is, always picks the starter that yours is weak to. So if you pick grass, he'll pick fire, and if he picks fire, he'll pick water, and if you pick water, he'll pick grass, because, you know, it gets you into the triangle. Oh, and then when we try to leave, he's gonna want to try to fight us. Come on, I'll take you on. So this is pretty much the tutorial trainer battle, and pretty much, you know, the first battle of the entire game. So, for his team, he has, well, obviously he has Charmander, level 5, and all he has is Scratch and Growl, even though the Growl failed. If he had Squirtle, he would have Tackle and Growl, and I'm pretty sure, you know, if he also had Bulbasaur, like how we do, his starting moves will end up being Tackle and Growl. So, if you really need to, I highly recommend you to actually use the potion that you took out of the PC. So now it's going to lower your attack. But, you know, we managed to take him out. We got 69 experience points. Now, when you gain experience points, you have a chance of gaining a level and a chance of learning a new move, which we'll get to much, much later. He's complaining he picked the wrong Pokemon. You make your Pokemon fight and toughen it up. Yeah, we'll see you later. Get the hell out of here. Okay, so now we're going to leave, and now that we have a Pokemon to defend ourselves, we can easily go over here into, you know, into the route. Now, normally you can go over into random encounters, but since we don't have the the opportunity and the chance to start catching Pokemon yet, we're not going to go over the Pokemon here on this route. But there are a few in this route, but we'll get to there when we get there. So this guy works at a Pokemon Mart. He's giving us a free potion. Yes, this is Route 1. Now, potions, all they do is they just heal off 20 HP, which, you know, at this point is pretty much an entire Pokemon. You know, their entire life source, I should say. But, yeah, we're just going through here, and we're now back up here to, well, you know, we're on the route, and we're actually here in the next town, which is Viridian City. Yeah, and this trainer tip sign is telling us about PP, or power points, for each move, because you can only use a certain move a certain amount of times. Yeah, so you can heal Pokemon here in Pokemon Town. Yes, it's free. So, wait a minute, hold on a second. Are you saying that the world of Pokemon uses Obamacare? Well, I hate to tell you, but here in the United States and today, Obamacare hasn't been, well, it's been repealed officially for the last, like, 6 years. Because it finally got repealed in, like, 2017, after being introduced back in, like, 2009. So yeah, our Pokemon are fully healed, all their power points are restored, and our health is restored. So we're going to explore this town a little bit. You want to know the 2 kinds of Caterpillar Pokemon? Nah, I don't want to. Oh, okay then. Yeah, we'll see you later. Get the fuck out of here. You really want to go into the mart, but we're going to take care of that here in just a little bit. We're just going to keep exploring this place. Yeah, obviously, yeah. If you want to heal your Pokemon, go to the Pokemon Center. If you want to buy shit, go to Pokemart. Pokeballs at your waist, or Pokemon here, it's great to carry it, just have Pokemon at any time. I only have 1 Pokemon, thank you very much, good sir. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Viridian City, the eternally green paradise. So, yeah. Oh, and by the way, if you're playing this game on the Game Boy Color, this town's gonna be, it's gonna be green. And, Pallet Town's gonna be a really dull lime green, which is a very bright and annoying color to, you know, look at. Okay, so this Spearow's name is Speary. Who in the hell would name a Spearow Speary? Britney Spears? Well, maybe, I don't know. Yes. That's just another town map, so we don't have to look at that again. That right there is a Pokemon gym. We can't go up there quite yet, so, we will have to explore that later. What's this? Try to memorize all my notes. Oh shit, we're in school. Picked up the notebook, first page. Pokeballs are used to catch Pokemon. Well, no shit. Up to 6 Pokemon can be carried. Yes. We can only have 6 at a time. Second page. A healthy Pokemon may be hard to catch, so weaken it. Poison, burns, and other damage are effective. Yes, you have to weaken Pokemon in order to catch them. Trainers seek others and engage in Pokemon fights are known as trainers. And you can fight in gyms too, as I already mentioned. The goal for Pokemon trainers is to beat the top 8 gym leaders, and so we will face the Elite 4 of the Pokemon League. Sorry, but that's how I passed high school! Okay, but anyways. This right here will tell you all about the different status inflictions. You have Sleep, which, obviously, you know, Pokemon can't do anything if it's asleep. You have Poison, which, you know, will steadily drain the health of the Pokemon as, you know, as the battle goes on. And it even affects after battle, as it also just said. Paralysis means that, you know, they can't really move that much. but it is a chance that they can't move and do anything. Burn is, reduces power and speed, which means it lowers your attack and speed. It will also remain after battle. Frozen, self-explanatory, is frozen solid. Although sometimes it can automatically defrost or hit by a fire move. Now there's one other thing about sleep I should probably mention, is that in this generation, when a Pokemon wakes up from sleep, it takes the whole entire turn to wake up. So, for some situations, use that to your advantage. Yes, we came from Pallet Town. Yes, we know Professor Oak. Alright, fine, we'll take this over to Professor Oak. Even though I really don't want to. I want to buy shit, goddammit. But, you actually can't. You can only buy shit after you deliver Professor Oak his parcel. A lot of people have actually theorized what the parcel technically is, but some people think that it is the Grand Master best Pokeball in the entire series. But there's no clear way to figure out what it is exactly. So we're back in Pallet Town. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh yeah, throughout some off battles, we got Bulbasaur to level 7, and it learned Leech Seed, which will drain the energy of the opposing Pokemon. And here I just did some more training, off screen, which I'm pretty sure I got up to level 10. I would like to imagine that that's what happened. But we're going off to Professor Oak. We're gonna give him his parcel. And we'll see what happens. Well, it seems to like you a lot. Yeah, I really hope that Brute Root likes me a lot. Yes. We gave you the parcel. The custom Pokeball. See, that proves right there that it might be the Master Ball, which is the best Pokeball in the entire series. Catches anything without fail. He has a request. And that's just the invention. The Pokédex. An unregular course area Pokemon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia. So you're saying it's like Bulbapedia on the go without Bulbapedia. But either way, we got a Pokédex. Now you're probably thinking, wait a minute, doesn't he give you 5 Pokeballs here too? Not quite. Okay, so here, Gary's just saying that you can get that town map from his sister. In later games, his sister will be known as Daisy, but here in this game, she is only known as just Gary's sister. So, in this game, we don't know what her actual name is, but in later games, we find out that her name is actually Daisy. So, yeah, we're not gonna go over there and do that. But, one thing we will do here in just a second is that we are going to briefly go over all the Pokemon that you can go after in this area. Alright, so first off, here on Route 1, we have our first bird Pokemon, Pidgey. Now, Pidgey is pretty much the starter bird, obviously, as it is in every game. So, it's got pretty good defenses for what it's worth, but its attack power isn't really that good. It's kind of decent, but, yeah, there's a better bird Pokemon I like better. Alright, and the second thing that you can find here in Route 1, and the last Pokemon in this area that you could possibly find, is Rattata, which is, our first standard, rodent-like Pokemon. Now, I am not a big fan of Rattata. I am actually, terrified of it in its evolved form. But, it's pretty good. They're more of like a, revenge killer, but, I don't recommend it. It's frail. Alright, so we're going back here to the Pokemon Center after going over all of the, you know, the Pokemon of the previous route, which is Route 1. Yeah, that is going to be a main feature of this series, by the way, for this game at least, and hopefully for all the other Pokemon games that I do on this channel. But yeah, now that we delivered Oak's parcel, we can now officially start buying shit. So I recommend that you buy at least 5 Pokeballs. Although, you know, as a kid, I always used to buy like 15. But you really don't need 15, because there's not really many Pokemon I'm really gonna catch in this game, because, I mean, you know, it is Gen 1, there's 150 of them, and at most that you're gonna be catching is, I'd say probably at least 30, for, like, different situations. Yeah, let's learn about them. Caterpie has no poison, but Weedle does. Watch out for its poison sting. We will go over that, and we will go over those two in a little while. But we're gonna go out this way, and we're gonna talk about the Pokemon out over here. After we get an item over here. I forgot what I was doing here. Yeah, you can find a potion right there. Alright, so now we're gonna go over those Pokemon over here on this route. Alright, first here on Route 22 we have Spearow. Now Spearow is kind of the other kind of bird that you can find early in the game. I mean, it's kind of like Pidgey, but you know, it's faster and more aggressive, and I think it learns some decent moves than Pidgey does. But yeah, Spearow's pretty good. You know, I kind of like it. Next up we have Nidoran Female. Now Nidoran Female is in both games, but it's more common in the blue version. Now since there are 2 Nidorans, we will go over the other one here in just a little bit. The females are primarily more defensive than the males, but you know, they're decent, I guess. They're decent poison types, and it'll end up becoming a poison ground type, which is a pretty interesting type, but if it's hit by an earthquake, it's a goner. And last on this route we have the counterpart, Nidoran Male. Now this one is more common in red, as compared to the female being more common in blue. It also has better attack power than the female, and you know, the female has more defense, as we just went over in the last file. Now when it's fully evolved, it also becomes the poison ground type. It's not really that good. I mean, they're more decent, I guess, but you know, it's good enough for learning like Horn Attack and Double Kick with its strong attack power. Alright, so now we're going to be hunting for a Pokemon that I am a really big fan of. It is kind of rare to find this specific Pokemon, but hopefully we'll find it pretty soon, because it's kind of a rare encounter. It's like 5%. Oh, this is what it is, and we found it. Yes, this is our second team member, guys. Yeah, as you see, Root is now level 10. We are going to attempt to lower its HP as much as possible so we can be able to catch it. And, wow, okay. We tried to, okay, there's the second leech seed. Okay. So at least it worked there. So at least we get some health back while we're trying to take care of this. Okay, now we're going to tackle. Oh no! Alright. Let's try this one. Alright. We found another one, so we're gonna try this one out. That was the one he killed too! Oh god. Oh yeah, I also got some more potions. So yeah, we just, you know, healed up and all that. I don't know what I'm doing on this screen right now, but hopefully we can find another one, because god, that's embarrassing. Now, it is rare. It is the 5% encounter on this route. But, oh god. I can't believe that actually happened. Like, Jesus. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is the last one. Or, well, last chance, I should say. Well, I don't think it's the last chance, but I think this is a guarantee. Okay, so we tackled it. It didn't die, so that's cool. I think we're gonna try out a Pokeball to see if we can actually try to catch it. Because, as I said before, Spearow is our second team member. And it was caught. And data for Spearow will be added. Eats bugs in grassy areas. It has to flap its short wings at high speed to stay airborne. You want to give it a nickname? Yes, I do. We're just going to name this guy Billy. Why? Because his fully evolved form has a very long bill. Alright, so he's at level 3, so we're going to switch him to the front of the party. Alright, so we just healed. What I'm going to be doing is that every time, if we've already gone to the Pokemon Center in the past, every time after in that town, we will just cut it out completely. Okay, so he had his coffee. In the original Red and Green in Japan, it was said that in his dialogue that he was drunk, but they changed it in this version to where he hasn't had his coffee yet. So this right here is a tutorial on how to catch Pokemon. And the old man here has run into a Weedle, which we will see a lot of in just a little bit. Now, with this guy in this game, comes with a very famous glitch that we will end up doing at some point in this series, but, you know, it's kind of cool. Okay, time is money. Yes, time is money. We have catch Pokemon, expand your collection. The more you have it, easier it is to fight. Yes. So right here on Route 2, we're gonna go over the Pokemon right now, because there are some new Pokemon here in this little patch of grass. Alright, first here on Route 2, we have our first bug type, Caterpie. Now Caterpie is kind of like, you know, the stereotypical bug that, you know, everyone wants to go after, because, I mean, just think about it. We've all had one. But, you know, even though they're a lot more common in the forest coming up, but if you want to catch it, don't catch it here. Catch it in the forest. And last up here on this route, we have Caterpie's counterpart, Weedle. Now, Weedle is more poisonous than, you know, obviously Caterpie. Both of these Pokemon evolve at level 7, and then again at level 10. But I think, personally, Butterfree's a bit better. But, I mean, Beedrill still also has its benefits too. Both of them are kind of annoying to train and deal with. But, again, if you want one, don't catch it here. Catch it in the forest coming up. Alright, so now we're going to be heading into the Viridian Forest. why in the fuck would I catch me a Rattata? Okay, so after doing some training to get Spearow up to at least close enough to Bulbasaur. We have a rival battle to take care of over here, but we're going to, we're just going to go ahead and do this now. And boom, there he is. Hey Trevor, you're going to the Pokemon League? Forget it, you probably don't have any badges. The guard won't let you through. By the way, did your Pokemon get any stronger? Now here's the thing, this fight is technically optional, so you don't have to do it, but it's probably in your best interest to do it. Alright, so he's starting out with a Pidgey, level 9, normal flying type with the moves Gust and Sand Attack. And believe me, this guy will spam the fuck out of Sand Attack, as you can no doubt tell. All it does is just lower accuracy. Now, regardless of whatever starter you pick, he will always have the same Pidgey. Same type, same moves, and all that. So, yeah, this is also kind of part of a tutorial trainer battle, quote unquote. Although this fight is just mainly, really annoying. Mainly because the fact that, our rival spams Sand Attack. Okay, well it's up to Bulbasaur now to take out our rival's Pokemon. Now, despite what it sounds like, Gust in this game is a normal type attack. But starting in the next game, it'll become a flying type attack. So, we're fine there. Alright, and Bulbasaur grew to level 11. Alright, and last up is his starter. If you chose Bulbasaur, he'll have Charmander, level 8, fire type, with the moves Scratch and Growl. If you chose Charmander, he'll have Squirtle with the moves Tackle, Tail Whip, and Bubble, also level 8. And if you chose Squirtle, he will have Bulbasaur, Grass and Poison type, level 8, with the moves Tackle, Growl, and Leech Seed. So, yeah, that's probably the other move that Squirtle will have if you chose Charmander. I always thought that, he had, like Growl or something, but then I was like, oh yeah, that's right. He has Tail Whip in this game. But then I was thinking, no, what about Withdraw? And then, that's the remake. Alright, so we defeat Gary. You just lucked out. Shut the fuck up! I heard Pokemon League has many tough trainers. I have to figure out how to get past them. You should quit dawdling and get a move on. Well, you know what? Go suck a chode. So yeah, this is pretty much the ultimate goal for this game, is to beat all the gym leaders and to, come out here to the Pokemon League and challenge the Elite Four. But, obviously that won't be towards the very, very late in the game, because this guy won't even let us through because we don't even have the Boulder Badge. So, yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and cut into the Viridian Forest. Alright, so here is the Viridian Forest. However, there are a few Pokemon we can encounter here in this place. So, we're gonna go ahead and go through these encounters right quick. Right after we talk to this guy. Alright, first up here in the Viridian Forest, we have Metapod, which is the evolved form of Caterpie. Now, like how I said earlier in the video, if you want a Butterfree, catch as a Caterpie. It's a little bit easier to train, because if you just catch a Metapod, all it'll know is Harden, and it's a pain in the ass to level up. You can find Caterpies here in the forest too, however they're a lot more common in blue, but it's a 5% encounter in red, so If you want a Butterfree, catch it as a Caterpie. Next up, we have Kakuna, which is the evolved form of Weedle. Again, same thing with this one. If you want a Beedrill, just catch it as a Weedle. And again, their Metapod and Kakunas are not good to train. So just catch them as the pre-evolved forms. You can find Weedles here in the forest a lot common in red, so even if you want that, then just do it that way. And lastly, here in this forest, we have everyone's favorite Pokemon and the mascot himself, Pikachu. Now, I actually kind of recommend Pikachu, aside from the previous two, pretty much all the bugs really in this forest. If you have like a Squirtle that you're worried about getting hit by flying attacks, and especially with Bulbasaur too, Pikachu is actually really good. I recommend Pikachu quite a lot. However, in this run through, I'm not gonna go after a Pikachu. Maybe later at some other point in the game, but for right now, I'm not gonna pick one up. But I do highly recommend you to pick up a Pikachu if you so need one. Alright, and thanks for all the random encounters there for the bios. We press A on the tree, we got an antidote, which will cure poison. And we got a Pokeball right here, so there it goes. So we got compensated for that. So yeah, even though I will be doing like little bios on the Pokemon themselves in this game, I am kind of paying homage to one of my favorite gaming YouTubers of how they do it for, you know, a Pokemon game. So that's why I'm doing Pokemon bios in this game. Alright, so we're gonna go up against this guy because this is our first, I guess, technical trainer. Hey, you have Pokemon? Come on, let's battle him! Alright, so here we have a bug catcher. Take a guess what all the Pokemon they got. Yeah, all they have are bug types. There are 3 trainers here in this area, although one of them is technically the more important one. So Billy here will be gaining a lot of levels in this area. If you have a flying type move or you started with Charmander, this area is completely easy. You're just gonna sweep right through all these kids' bugs. And down goes Caterpie. And we defeated him. I mean, Caterpie couldn't cut it. What the hell are you talking about, kid? All you had was Tackle and String Shot. Who gives a fuck? If Missy didn't like all the bugs, then why should we care about the bugs? Another thing I should probably get out of the way is that, to pay a homage to another gaming, channel that I watch a lot. And they did it in their own playthrough of this exact game. We're showing off every single trainer battle, so you'll be able to see every single bit of experience that all my Pokemon get. I'm cutting out every single random encounter unless I'm trying to catch it, and that's how I'm doing the bios. But in terms of trainers, I'm finding every single one. I will attempt to try to take all of them out in one shot. No guarantees, especially in part 3. God damn. But, you know, you can just get through all of this real quick. Oh, we just barely got to level 9 and learned Leer. Leer pretty much lowers defense. So, that's kind of cool. Yes, in order to get your Pokédex evaluated, you have to contact Professor Oak. So, yeah, this is the Pokédex. So as you see here, in this save file currently, I have seen 9 different Pokemon, but I own only 2. And we found an antidote. That's cool. Spirit would definitely need that if needed, but Bulbasaur won't. See, here's a good thing about starting with Bulbasaur. If Weedle uses, Poison Sting, which has a 10% chance of poisoning your Pokemon, you don't have to worry about it with Bulbasaur because it is part poison. So, the only thing you would really have to be worried about that, to get poisoned, technically, will be Spearow. And we got an item here, we got another potion, so that's cool. And I think this is the last stretch of the forest. No stealing Pokemon from other trainers. Catch only wild Pokemon. Well, no fucking shit, dude! The game thinks we're incompetent. Okay, so we got a potion right here. So that's cool. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, this trainer right here is the only important trainer you're supposed to really fight, because he's really the only one that's mandatory to get through this area. But right when I stepped there was a random encounter. That was kind of funny. Oh god, okay, so this guy just only has a Weedle. Oh great, and he's lowering our speed with the screenshot. But it doesn't matter, Spearow took him out. Good job, Billy. And we got $90 for winning. Okay, so this does it for this episode. We will see you next week